If there's one life skill that I'm begging you to have in your life, is to simply manage your time. Well, this is literally one of the life skills that I think everyone should really take the time to be good at. You don't even have to bother learning all the other productivity rules like the 8020 rule, the atomic habits, reading Atomic Habits. It's like if I were to tell you one habit that you need to have in order to get your life together, it's just simply manage your time well. That is the most important skill that you can learn in life. I'm not even kidding when I say that if you manage your time well, you will be unstoppable. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you have time management skills in school, I'm telling you, your grades are going to go up, even if you feel like you're not studying as much, even though you have time for literally everything else. I was even doing this YouTube channel and I was working out and I was literally doing everything else that I enjoyed, like my hobbies, gaming, whatnot, and I was still able to score a 98% average on my senior high school. So in this video, I'll give you a very quick crash course on how to effectively manage your time properly. Because trust me, and I'm gonna be really honest here, this is probably one of the most important life skills that everyone should learn, especially if you're heading to school. So, the first thing I wanna talk about is, what the heck is time management? When you hear the word time management, you're probably thinking about blocking out time from your calendar, blocking a specific time in your calendar and hoping that you will manage your time from that. That's not really what time management is. Now, if you think about it, we don't have enough time in our life to pretty much do everything that we want to do on this earth. And that's unfortunately a fact. I'm here to tell you, you're not able to do everything you want to. Like, even if you see those Asian astronaut, doctor, military, I'm sure he hasn't done everything he wanted to do in his life. We just simply don't have enough time to do everything. So in our lives or limited lives, we have to choose what's important to us and what kind of matters more in the moment, right? I'm gonna do this because this is more of a priority to me, and I'm going to disregard others. So what time management is not about delegating your time, but time management is essentially prioritization. What matters right now? What is most important right now in my life? What do I have to do right now? It's about what is necessarily important to be done in the day. That is the core principle of time management. And with time management, every task that's in your plate will start to have different priorities. Some tasks might not be as prioritized, and some tasks might be prioritized over the others. You might have to prioritize specific things in your life, like maybe school, career related. And because we have limited 24 hours a day, it's important that we delegate those tasks based on priority throughout our day. Which moves me to my next point, which is that time management starts from tasks. The main goal of time management isn't necessarily to block out periods of your day, of your calendar, but the goal of time management is to accomplish your important tasks, because there's actually a 3 specific step process when it comes to planning out your time and to planning out your tasks. The first step you need to do is to literally just come up with a goal. Like, literally just come up with a task that you need to do throughout the day. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Like, you can just come up with one main goal that you have for the day. You don't have to assign a specific time yet. You just have to make sure that this task is going to be your priority for that day. Let's say for the day, I have a bunch of tasks or I have a bunch of assignments, but the main goal of the day is that I need to study for my farm pharmacology exam. So therefore, that will be my main task or my main highlight of the day. It could even be just studying for 30 minutes. That's already good enough. If you feel like you're interrupted, as long as you have a goal for the day, that's already a good start of time management practice. Starting with a goal. The next step of the TBF method is blocking. Now, I'm sure this is where you're more familiar with, but this is where you would schedule and see your non-negotiables and your negotiables in your day. So for example, school, work, sleeping, eating, gym. These are stuff that you can't change. Like, you have to do these things. And this is where the scheduling that you know of comes in clutch. And I'm sure you're familiar with this part of the process. Now, time blocking serves 2 functions. Function number 1 is that it serves a great way to sort of visualize the time that you have available in your day. But the second component, and this is kind of what time blocking really is it's a delegation of effort. It delegates a time in your day for you to just purely focus on the task at hand. And it's good because you can just turn off your brain and think to yourself, okay, I blocked this task for this time. I'm just gonna focus on that task because I know that I can enjoy myself later as long as I follow this schedule religiously. Now, in your calendar, the way I want you to block your time is to block your time for the worst case scenario. Problem with time blocking, especially with calendars, is that you're kind of assuming that you're going to follow that time block. And I'm sure at this point, everyone figured out that we can't really perfectly follow our schedule. The world is just too chaotic for that. Things come up, schedules extend, interruptions happen. There's just so many things that can disrupt your schedule. That's why it's unrealistic to schedule an ideal routine. Instead, you should schedule on the worst SCK scenario. For example, don't schedule your study time right after lunch. What if your lunchtime expands? What if you feel tired? What if you want to take a 5-minute break before studying? And finally, the last step of time blocking is to follow. This is the most important step. And I can argue this is probably like 90% of the work that has to be done compared to the first 2 steps. You don't need to pressure yourself into finishing the task, doing it properly, or doing it the best way. You just have to show up and do what you can. And this is the most important mindset that I need to teach you, because this, a lot of times when people create tasks or people create schedules, it inadvertently creates pressure. And people start to think to themselves that, oh God, I have to complete this swiftly in one go. I have to do this. I have to finish this. It's kind of overwhelming me. No, you just have to show up. You just have to do what you can. Like running, you don't have to show up running a marathon every morning. You just have to show up. That is the most important part. Progress and milestone comes naturally. Showing up doesn't. So, next time you block out your day and you start with a task, I want you to remember to view it as a guide, not as an obligation. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.